What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back again, MLG TV. Hit that like button, subscribe. What's up, Jack, man? What you up to?
Yeah, man, back again. It's Tuesday, Thanksgiving week. I'm really excited about sweet potato pie.
Right. Getting some of that good. I don't eat much meat anymore, but I love I still might dabble with the mac and cheese, the greens, some of that
You hold it
good
down for all the
Thanksgiving.
vegans out there.
Man, it's tough though. You never know. I might go back to being a
Carnivore
pescatarian or
diet,
whatever.
man. Just, a little carnivore, pescatarian. Okay. Yeah.
Messing
Little
around.
salmon.
Little salmon here and there. I love the seafood. Creole. It's in my blood. But yeah, man, it's a good week for a lot of sports right now. We got college basketball tournaments going on. College football, of course, playoff week is coming up, and NFL, of course. So we got a lot to talk about here. We're gonna get straight into this breaking news. Let's get it. All right, all you Colorado fans out there, we got some good news here. Let's watch this video and then we'll expand upon this after.
All Buffs Nation has loved the ride, especially with this great season with Shador and Travis.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Big 12 title game in doubt, will this be the last time fans see them in the Buffs uniform?
No, we got a bowl game. I'm pretty sure we secured that weeks ago for Peggy. So, no, it's not the last time you're going to see them in a Buff uniform. These two and all the rest of the seniors have done a wonderful job of getting us to where we are, instilling so much expectation in our fan base and expectation in ourselves. So we're going to fight and try to go out there and kick some butt and end this thing on the right note. And we're going to go to a bowl game and end this thing on the right note because our fans deserve the absolute best. And I feel like whatever bowl game we're choosing to go to or whatever we choose, we're going to pack it. We're going to do what we normally do everywhere we go on the road. And it's going to be a tremendous game. And you're going to see everything you've seen throughout the season regarding our athletes.
So, Coach Prime has spoken, saying Shador, my bad, saying Shador and Travis Hunter are likely to play in the bowl game. What you think about this? This is, a lot of players sit out because of the NFL draft and they don't want to get hurt. But I think this is a good sign. It's, shows that they're still competitive. What you think?
That's my coach right there. That's what I think. He calmed the waters. He didn't let the media twist anything and try to project their own story on what's going on. And whatever it is, that does happen, it's the choice of the players at the end of the day. I think they'll play, though. Why not? Go out on a bang. They're guaranteed their NFL spots anyway at this point.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them in a bowl game. And if they play, hey, they should win, whoever they play. It should be a great
Exactly.
matchup.
Like you said, go out on a bang, right? It's all about momentum, and it's about next year's team, too. And I'm sure, it helps that he's Shador's father, right? So, of course, Shador is going to want to play for for that team that he plays for. His father's also the coach. You want to leave everything the right way. Now, at the same time, if he makes an executive decision and doesn't play, I wouldn't blame him. Either.
Yeah.
Even though I lean more on the side of the mentality of always play the game and all these things, but I do understand, especially in today's gaming world, there's a lot of money on the line. There's life-changing revenue on the line, even though he's kind of already got it, based on what his dad's, done and provided and the opportunities he's had. But still, I mean, at the end of the day, if you have the opportunity to go make $500 million in the NFL and you choose to not play in the bowl game, I'm not going to crucify the kid, right? He deserves his own choice. But I like how the coach, quieted the masses right there.
Yeah, I like how he has expectations for them to go out and play. And who knows, maybe they'll just play a half. We don't know. But that's better than not playing in my eyes. Go out there, give it a go, see how you feel. You want to stay out on the field, stay out there. But like you said, if these guys are businessmen, At the end of the day, they have a career to worry about. So if they don't play, can't be mad at them either way. But shout out to Colorado. 8-win season. Looks like they will get 9 this week against Oklahoma State.
Let's go, Deion.
Let's go, Deion Sanders, man. All right, so this next one here, Legend Speaks. If you don't know who Legend is, it's a longtime Alabama fan. So let's see what he has to say. We'll talk about it.
Just have to listen to this. Alabama superfan Legend on the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday. Just listen. Can't wait.
Is this acceptable, Alabama fans? Is this Alabama football? Is this what we signed up for? Is this what Alabama built? Is this what Nick Saban built? Man, I'm disgusted. You ought to be disgusted too. You know, I heard Coach DeBoer in his press conference after the game talking about we need to learn how to do better. Nah, dude, all that crap's over with. You ain't going to the playoffs, and every real Alabama fan don't give a damn now because there's nothing at stake. What hurts my heart is it's clear this guy's overwhelmed. And you done took the greatest program in the world, and you can't handle this job. Come on, somebody testify with me. Somebody get up and say amen and hallelujah. All you got to do is look at this guy. He is overwhelmed. He is out of his league. He had no idea what he was stepping into.
He went to church on him. He said hallelujah.
He said hallelujah. And somebody testify.
Somebody testify. Somebody bring an offering up front here because Alabama didn't make the playoff. I just think, man.
I told you so at the beginning of the season, Vaughn. This was exactly what was going to happen. And it's kind of funny that it's playing out just like this.
Yeah, we expected Bama. You know, new coach, new regime. You can't expect a guy to come in here. And I know Alabama's been built. It's already a well-oiled machine. You don't have to do much. We know that. But still a new face, you know what I'm saying? A new culture. You got to understand it takes
the next person
years.
Was always set up for failure. It's just the truth. There's no way you were going to go in there and replace Nick Saban. It's just the truth. Everyone knew it.
Yep.
Everyone knew it. You don't have to be a Bama fan to know that. You could be a Bama rival and know that. And if everyone else in the SEC knew that.
Yep.
So, you know, it's funny because this Legend guy, and I don't know how I don't even know who it is, even though I like Bama. He sounds exactly like anybody that's a super Bama fan would sound. It's exactly what I expect, honestly. And I like it that fans are going to hold this team accountable. They're not just going to allow it to just disintegrate over the next couple of years. Like I projected to. Not projected to disintegrate completely, but the mystique of being this unbeatable team is going to slowly kind of wither away. And that's just the facts.
Yeah. It was a longtime lady fan who said Bama will never die. And I sort of agree with her. They'll never die. There'll always be a factor. It's Alabama. Who doesn't want to go play for Alabama? Still to this day. And I think Kalen DeBoer, he's a great coach. He's a winner. This guy took a Washington team to the national title, who I don't think nobody could ever do that with that team he had. Yeah, he had Michael Penix, but he still took that team all the way to a ship. So I think Bama will be back in the run-ins.
But look who they were playing compared to
true
Bama plays, man.
Very true, but they still made it to a ship. You know what I'm saying? So that's just tough to do. They still have to go through Oregon, which is always a formidable opponent. But yeah, Bama's gonna be all right. Just don't overreact. Give him a couple years. Give this guy 2-3 years, then react like this. Don't do it the first.
I mean, you're also asking him to go from Penix to Milroe,
right?
Can't run the same offense with these guys. Like you got to switch it up.
Thank you, 100%. So it's just a lot going on. I expect.
Sounds like Bama needs Deion.
Hey. I said it last year. They should have tried.
Remember? No, we did talk about that a year ago. We were talking when we saw them on a commercial together. Him and Nick Saban. We're like, oh, imagine if he was at Bama. Imagine the recruiting and imagine how great that team would be for the people that think, oh, he's not that great of a coach. He can't become one of the best coaches of all time. Blah blah blah. Okay, put him on Bama and see what happens.
Facts, but we know why. We won't speak why he's
We won't
not
speak
at
about
Bama.
that. We won't even speak about that.
Yeah, we know why. But definitely, I agree 100%. If Deion was at Alabama, we wouldn't be hearing about none of this. They would be in the playoff 100% right now, because of just his aura, man. You know, Deion walks in the room, he's gonna get whatever recruit he wants, especially at SEC caliber program. So don't overreact, Bama fans, just yet. Give DeBoer a few years. He has a 5-star.
Overreact, Bama fans. Overreact.
Nah, don't
I'm
overreact.
telling you, overreact. I love it.
It's good for TV for us, so maybe you're right. Overreact.
You saw Greeny over there, a little slimy Greeny, just laughing. Come on.
Laughing, they sipping coffee.
You're a Jets fan, Greeny. Come on.
Speaking of New York, let's go out to New York, man. Giants Dayball says sore Tommy. He's sore, man. Tommy DeVito sore. It's not 100%. We don't know if he's gonna play this week or start. He might still play, but they're speculating Drew Lock could start, and Drew Lock should have been starting anyways. I don't know why DeVito was out there. That doesn't make any sense. What you think? Giants got a shot against their rival? We talked about this a little before the show.
I think the Giants go win this game. That's me. I think, especially if Drew Lock plays, I think about that game last year when the Seahawks, I forgot who they were playing at home, and Drew Lock came in as the starter that week. Who was it? It was a big game too. Was it Philly?
I remember that game.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
and
it was.
It was Philly, right? Yeah,
Yep.
and it was like they shouldn't have won it.
And he drove
Drew
it
Lock
at the
threw a
end.
bomb and
Yep.
And I expect something like that to happen this game. You know, Drew Lock is that kind of a player. He can do it 1 or 2 games for you, especially because he plays with a chip on his shoulder. And this Cowboys team is just primed for some BS to happen, especially after they just got away with the win last week. They could just, this team is prone to be too cocky for no reason. And I think they're going to look at this Giants team on Thanksgiving and be too cocky for no reason, considering the fact that the Giants do suck. And then the Cowboys are going to forget that they also suck. And somehow, some way, Giants go win this game. They got a good receiving core. Wan'Dale Robinson, a nice little slot receiver. Obviously, Malik Neighbors, one of the best receivers in the league already, being a rookie too. At that, Tyrone Tracy, a good receiver, turned into a running back in college, and now he's showing that here in the NFL why he's good and talented, and maybe he should not have been a later round pick, but they have some weapons, so I think Drew Lock definitely can go out and get the ball to those weapons and let them do something. Now, that's no discount the Cowboys' defense, but I just don't see their offense being a threat, man. I know Cooks might come back this week, but again, what are they going to do with Cooper Rush?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think it just feels fishy, man. It's Thanksgiving. There's 3 games on the slate. Now, the first game, you got the Lions, Bears. We know Lions win, but do they cover? Who cares? And then the next 2 games, it's like Dallas, Giants, and both have the same spread, Packers, Dolphins.
You mean to tell me, like, the Giants are only a plus 165 money line? On the road?
Fishy, bro. Fishy.
That's just like that sounds like a setup. That sounds like a gigantic setup for everybody that's going to bet on these Cowboys and all the Cowboys fans on Thanksgiving to lose a bunch of money.
Yep.
Or all their parlays get busted, if you ask me.
Definitely, because Giants, their last 15, I just did the research, you guys. They're a whopping 1-14.
And
Dallas.
On top of that stat you just said, it's like, for all the Cowboys fans that doubted their team last week against the Redskins and did it reverse, like I know one person for sure that lives in Dallas that had the Commanders win it. Now they're going to go back, I shouldn't have did that to my own team. And then they're going to lose again and get super upset.
And what did the Giants just do last week? Got thraxed.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even just lose. They got thraxed. They got
made it look like they're not going to be able to keep up and then watch.
Psychological, man. That's what betting is, ladies and gentlemen. We just dropped some juice for you. Don't always go with the recency bias. Sometimes you got to go on the island and bet by yourself. That's how you can win in this game. So I agree with you, Giants. We'll talk more about that game tomorrow in that matchup. Last breaking news here, Aaron Rodgers. So I guess he's undecided on if he's playing next season, but he said if he does, which we think he will play next season, his first option would be the Jets. What you got to say about this?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well stay there. We talked about this a week or two ago, or last week, I believe. There was no reason for them to even get rid of him. For what? I mean, I get it, cut whatever, get ahead on their head start, but the head start of what? Like, the team has always been trash. You're not
right.
So do it the right way. Let them figure it out. If you do this the right way, other free agents are going to want to come to the team later on, years down the road, right? So I think Aaron Rodgers deserves to have his choice. I mean, he tore his Achilles playing for this team on the first game the year before. So play the rest of this year out. You got a decent core. No need to just break up the whole core now after you traded all these assets and got these players together.
Exactly.
And let them figure out this year. And if the band stays together, maybe you can make a run next year. Like, it takes a little bit of time. And I know Aaron Rodgers will be 41, but I mean, how many players or quarterbacks that are Super Bowl winning quarterbacks are just out there to just have on your team?
Sure. Not many.
You want to just have Danny DeVito? Is that what you want to do? Like, I don't get it. And to all the media people out there that love to trash Aaron Rodgers, whether it has to do with the immunization thing or whatever, him just being different, you got to like reflect on yourself and wonder why you're so obsessed with trying to ruin what he's got going on.
Right. You always should hate the game. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate the player.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, man.
Never do that.
What's wrong
man.
with y'all? You just don't want to see him win. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, definitely. They don't make the rules. They just play the game. So get mad at how the game is played. If you're going to get mad at a player, make sure you should have good reasons at being mad at a player, like really good reasons. He should probably have done something to you personally for you to have a grudge against somebody. And I don't see anybody.
It's not good for the youth. You're teaching the youth the wrong thing, media.
Definitely.
Okay?
Definitely. Talking heads. All right. It's college football playoff time. You excited? You ready for these new rankings?
Let me see what you got.
I'm about to bring up the bracket here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So right now, these are not rankings, but these are the playoff bracket projection rankings. So new team coming in here, Arizona State. It seems like if they win this week and win the Big 12 title, they will definitely be in this 12th slot. I see them potentially facing off against Ohio State. Shout out to Arizona State, man. I didn't see this team coming. They came out of nowhere. Scatterboo running back. He's a solid running back. He's like a watered down McCaffrey. Solid quarterback. Great team here. Now, number 11, Indiana. They took that L to Ohio State like we knew they would. And they're still up here in the rankings, as rightfully so. They only have one loss on the season, but they don't have any big wins. So it might hurt Indiana in the end, but if they win this next week, which they will against Purdue, they should be able to get in. Number 10, SMU. How about the Mustangs? They solidified their ACC title. I think they play Cal. Yeah, they play Cal this week. If they get this win and make it to the ACC title, if they lose there, I think they still might get in it. We'll see how the committee, they say that they're not going to punish you for losing your title game, but who knows? They're just talking right now. Number 9, Tennessee. Tennessee is coming off that loss to Georgia. Last week they had a cupcake against UTEP. This week they play their rival Vanderbilt, and they should win this week and get in. I see Tennessee around this 9-10 spot somewhere entering the playoffs. Georgia, number 8. I think Georgia should be a little higher, but they did take 2 losses on the season. So as long as they're around this spot, can't get mad at the committee for this one. Georgia will win this week against Georgia Tech, their rival. Next team, 7, Notre Dame, man. I've been taking this team for the past 4 or 5 weeks. They just been winning ever since that slip up against NIU. They have not lost. Now, they do have a tough matchup here on the road against USC. I think they'll get a win. Tight line, 7.5, but I do see them winning against my USC Trojans. Number 6, Penn State. They haven't moved. They've been here for a few weeks now. What can you say? Penn State's been winning. They will get in. They have a cupcake this week. I believe it's against Maryland. Next team, Ohio State. They play their rival, Michigan. And Michigan cannot move the ball. Who would have thought Ohio State would be laying 20 points against Michigan? I say they blow them out. I think they could possibly even move up to a 4 bye spot, but we'll talk about that later, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4, Boise State. They're giving Boise State a bye, which I don't agree with because they don't play the competition. Their best win was actually a loss. I know that sounds crazy, but they lost to Oregon by 3. So the committee likes that, I guess. They did beat a ranked UNLV at the time. They possibly can play UNLV again in their conference title, which I think they should squeak by them again. I like Boise State. I like this team. I like Gentry, but they should be a first-round exit. I'm sorry. They do not have the line to hang with any of these teams in the playoffs. Next team, Miami. They giving Miami a lot of love. They've been squeaking by every week. They haven't looked great during these games, but they only have 1 loss on the season to a Georgia Tech team who was feisty, who also beat some good teams. So Miami, rightfully so gets a bye. Number 2, Texas. Texas have a tough matchup this week against A&M on the road. We'll see what happens there. Even if they lose, I think they still get in. They're in the SEC title, so we'll see what happens. Oregon, number 1, rightfully so, as long as they don't slip up. And even if we'll see, the committee, what they'll do against Oregon and Ohio State. Whoever wins that, we'll see if they get the number 1 seed or not. But I don't think Oregon should be punished for losing their title. I think they should stay at that number 1 slot because they went unblemished on the season as long as they beat Washington this week. All right, Jack, let me hear what you got to say about this.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll pull it back up.
Everything's where it should be. Again, I'm not scared of any team on this bracket when they face Georgia. I'm not scared of any of these teams. So SMU, I guess they deserve to be there, just off the body of work they put on this season. But again, 12 teams in the playoff now, like the real mega power teams are just going to show when they face off. Like you just said, Boise State, they deserve to be there, but we know they're going to lose. We know they're not going to win. So, as time goes on with the NIL, I think this 12-team setup is going to work out. I just think in these first couple years, there's going to be some early blowouts.
Yeah, I agree. It's, they have to get a Power 5 team in there. So rightfully so, Boise. They're talking about Tulane has a chance, but no way.
Tulane? See what you're saying?
Yeah. Tulane.
And isn't that what Tulane has, that rookie quarterback, no?
Yeah.
Rookie, freshman quarterback, Mensa. Come on, man.
Yeah, and their best win was a loss. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To K-State.
Which we watched, right. K-State, Avery Johnson.
Yeah, so their strength of schedule is not up there. At least Boise hung with Oregon. I'll take that loss better than anybody. And they beat a ranked UNLV team. So Boise, rightfully so, but it's SMU, man. Look, SMU, I give them all the credit. But if they lose to Miami in the title game, which they will, I'm pretty positive but they shouldn't be in it. I'm sorry. Who have they beat? They haven't beat anybody. I think you got to let another team in. There's some teams on the cusp that should get in. So we'll see what happens with the committee, but this bracket is pretty much almost set. So one more week, then the title championships, and then it's playoff time. It's time to make money. I'm excited. College football, one of the best sports on earth. So yeah, that's it. You want to talk some NFL for the people?
Yeah, let's run through this NFL top 5 since it's Thanksgiving week. We're not gonna be able to do this tomorrow, most likely, or Thursday for sure. Outside looking in for the top 5 in the NFL, it's pretty simple now. A lot of these teams are starting to take too many L's, so they're dropping off. So we got 3 teams only: Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Green Bay. The Ravens, they proved they could bounce back, and they proved they're just a dangerous team no matter where they are. Whether they win their division, whether they're going to be in wild card matchup, whether they get a bye. It doesn't matter where they're going to be placed come playoff time. Every team is going to be scared to play Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and this squad. Pittsburgh Steelers, now they're here in this position right now. They might drop back. This week they're playing the Bengals, who are an injured animal, honestly, back against the wall. So if Russell Wilson doesn't get it done, them having the opportunity to get into the top 5 NFL teams isn't going to be there, and their opportunity to stay in this outside looking in won't be there. So we'll see this week where Pittsburgh ends up. And obviously Green Bay, they have a big matchup against the Niners this week. I, for one, look for Green Bay to actually win that matchup just because the Niners are reeling, and they look like they're going to be taking a lot of L's towards the end of this season. Just because they've, been such a good team for so long. They've played in the playoffs so many times that they were about to run out of gas. So Green Bay, Jordan Love, again, finding ways to win is what this team has been doing. And Josh Jacobs himself has just been a good acquisition to them also. So going into the top 5, we're going to come in at number 5, the Vikings. I know, what a surprise. They bounced back. They were on pumpkin mode for sure these last couple weeks after taking 2 L's in a row. But they've definitely steadied the ship. They only have 2 losses. They deserve to be in the top 5. They have the best NFL defense against the run. That surprised me. They got the Cardinals this week, which is, going to be a big challenge. We're going to see if they can defend home against, Kyler Murray and those boys. And if they do, it wouldn't surprise me. But, again, their quarterback situation is still iffy, but they do have the best receiver in the NFL. Coming in at number 4, the Bills. I know they're on bye, so they dropped back a little bit just because some teams just really showed some of their power punch this weekend. But, Buffalo's got Josh Allen again leading the helm. They have a big Sunday Night Football week this week against the Niners, who they play, who I expect them to win. Josh Allen, again, he's just proven to me that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And again, I'm somebody that thought, wasn't sold on him. I thought, he was going to wash out of Buffalo, but more power to this guy, man. He's a trooper. He's a winner. And he really just put the work in, and it's just really showing in this team in the chemistry that they're having, especially because they have so many new players this year. Coming in at number 3, my team, of course, Philly, the Eagles. And I know some people are saying they're too high, but you know what? Saquon Barkley is just that good. This offensive line is that good. This receiver core is that good. This quarterback is that good. Their defense is that good. I know they just lost to Son Reddick. We just lost a DN, our Hall of Fame's almost style DN. But the cornerbacks on this team are ruthless. I think every number 1 receiver that goes against the Eagles secondary has like a 20-yard game, only a couple receptions. So, Philly deserves to be up there until they lose. Now, big matchup this week against the Ravens. And that, that's a big implication for what I'm talking about right here, because if the Ravens lose, they're now outside looking in. They're not even outside looking in anymore. Eagles lose, they could drop out of the top 5. So this is a big mano-a-mano matchup, especially because Eagles have a bye week coming up right after. Coming in at number 2, these two teams are going to be the same. Obviously, the Chiefs, they can't move up. They were in a 1-score matchup against the Panther Piss. Shout out to Bryce Young for putting out, a good game, putting out good game film this week, especially against this Chiefs defense. But they just left too much time on the clock, which allowed the Chiefs to go in there and win the game at the end with the game-winning field goal, which is typical Patrick Mahomes, what do you expect? But they didn't completely blow out the Panthers, so we can't move them up. And obviously coming in at number 1, We got the Detroit Lions. I mean, what else can you say about this team? Their coach is stellar. Their running back room is stellar. Jared Goff's doing his thing, leading the most prolific offense in the NFL has seen since they say since the Rams, since the greatest show on turf. So again, this team deserves it. I don't see them going to the Super Bowl because obviously I have the Eagles beating these guys in the playoffs. But again, they deserve to be number one in the power rankings.
Yes, sir. NFL top 5. I agree with these picks, with these teams. And yeah, as you alluded to, Detroit is looking like the greatest show on turf besides Colorado, the greatest show on turf in college. But yeah, Detroit, KC, Philly, man. Hey, Philly looking nice with Saquon, man. He's headed towards the
Everybody
MVP.
doubted them because of last year, man. But again, sometimes you just need a good free agent acquisition to come in and mesh with the whole team. And look what happens.
Yeah, he's one of the top MVP favorites now. I believe he's third on the list. So shout out to Saquon putting up big numbers. And he got a big test this week coming up, though, against the Ravens. I can't wait to watch that one.
Two teams kind of like in a parallel, if you think about it. Both
Very
have
true.
running back acquisitions this summer that have really revamped, not necessarily revamped, but took their games to the next level. Even though we didn't think they could find a next level, they've done that. So we get to see the matchup and see what happens. Especially if you think about it being a potential Super Bowl matchup.
Aha! Battle of the Birds. That's what we got right there. I can't wait to watch that one. That's one, though, I know you're not betting that one. You placing a wager?
Nope.
Nah. Staying
That
away.
one I just will watch for fun.
Yeah, got to watch that one for fun. That'll be a great matchup. Some good matchups on the slate. I can't wait. Tomorrow we're doing the Best Bet show early because of Thanksgiving. So make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe. And, you know, in the meantime, in between time, Jack, let's get this cash, y'all. This is not financial advice. Yeah. Nah, I don't judge. Eat how you gonna eat, keep it legit. And please don't bother me, rather in advance. Or you hit the lottery, buy new commodities.